right, everybody, we are out here with the Ancheer 20, and yes, it does have the same footprint as the XP Lite, except this one comes with a back rack and a fender. Okay, so anyway, yeah, it's went together, no problem. So let's just get out here and ride it around for a little bit and see how it performs. So yeah, looks really nice, man. I'm kind of surprised about it, but we'll see when I ride it, right? I've only ridden it from the door down here, and that was without even the electric on. I just pedaled it down here to start the video. So yeah, so let's check it out, man. All right, I got it turned on. Let me start up the speedometer. Now, thing I am going to say is that the seat is definitely tilting too far forward, and I do not have a adjustable wrench on me to correct that situation right at the moment, so I'm just going to have to ride with it like that. So until I get back to the garage, and then we'll work it out. Okay, so we are in speed number 1. Let's see what we get with that. Well, it says 18, and I let off the gas because I was expecting it to go like 3 miles an hour or 5 miles an hour in this speed 1. So let's just get up there on the hill and see how that works out up there on the flat, completely flat surface. I thought it would progress through some speeds, but it said mode 1. I know the top speed is supposed to be 20 miles an hour, but I didn't think it would reach the 20 miles an hour in mode 1, you know what I mean? So going up the hill, pedaling real lightly, it's going up no problem. So that's a plus, right? Now let me just throttle it up. Okay. So we're going up. Oh, I hate sitting leaning forward like that. Oh, it's terrible. Well, first of all, this seat's going to have to go anyway, so I'm going to have to go pop the seat off the electric XP Mini. Alrighty. Alright, let's get into our parking lot here where we always do these little speed trials. Okay, so it says on here mode 1. Okay, so let's hit it here, mode 1. It says 18, 19. 20, 20.7. Okay, so you're looking at, it's 20 miles an hour, like it says in the ad. On that thing, anyway. I didn't look at that. I was just looking at the dial on there, but it seemed like it was going pretty good. Uh-oh. Popeyes. I think they just opened, actually. It's about that time. It's about 11 o'clock or so. Okay, so let's go to this mode 2. Now, I don't know if this is for speed or pedal assist. I don't I'm not even sure, because I'm not going to see any difference in the speed. I can tell you that right now. Okay, so there's no difference that I see, except, yeah, it's a mile an hour slower. Okay. So I'm suspecting now that this mode is going to be for your pedal, how much pedal assist it is. Not like the Voyager, where the modes, because the Voyager and this have the same display, but on that one the modes are the speeds. But this one, I think the modes are going to be the pedal assist amount. I think that's what that's going to be about. Mode 3 will give you more pedal assist than mode 1 or whatever. So that's probably not going to affect it that much. Let's try that out. Yeah, it's not going any faster. All right, so yeah, it's doing the same speed, which is really great. 20 miles an hour is fine for a bike, okay? I'm happy with that. If a bike, as long as the bike goes 18, 20 miles an hour, I'm happy with it. It's those ones that go only 15 that I get kind of bored on. 20 is fine though. The brakes on here are really nice, guys. Really nice. I had to, after I did the unboxing, I had to wind up adjusting the brake rub out, which was real easy. I had to flip the bike back over, and you just loosen up that little rod thing that goes through there, and just tighten up one side or the other until you can get the rub out, and then lock it down. That's all. It's real simple. And like I said, on their Amazon page, they have a really good video on assembling the bike. So you ain't gonna have any trouble as long as you watch that video putting the bike together. It's real simple. The only hard part would be putting the front wheel on and that damn fender. And hopefully you won't get any stripped bolts like I did. I had 2 stripped bolts that really were aggravating. They put the bolts on the bike really tight with lobs of Loctite. So it was basically hard just to get the bolts off of the damn thing. Because you had to take them off and then put the parts on and then put the bolts back in. So I think and I mentioned this in the unboxing thing, I said, I think they should have just left the bolts off and put them in a bag and told you where they went, instead of putting them on with all this Loctite. Because getting them off was a real pain. So yeah, oh, this bike's great, man. Wait till I switch this better seat on here. Yeah, really nice, real nice. All right, I'm just cruising around here for a minute. Oh, the brakes on this thing are really smooth, man. Wow, very impressive. I think it was $6.99. Real nice for that. You know, it's going to be how's the battery going to hold up? That's going to be the question. It's claiming a 30-mile deal, but you know that's all BS. So, yeah, it's not rubbing or anything like that. It's got pretty thin tires on there, too. I think they actually might even be thinner than the XP lights. They might be thinner. Now, it's very uncomfortable right now riding this because the seat's leaning so way forward. It makes it pretty uncomfortable to ride. Plus the seat sucks, you know, so you got that going too, you know, you got that going for you. The seat blows, so. Okay, we see Popeyes, nothing's happening, so let's go head on over to the plasma and see if we can see what we can see over there. It's packed. Here's a pet vet place. G&G. Pure Hockey. And there's the plasma. There's the cigarette butts in the parking lot. Oh yeah, loads of garbage out in front of the place. Oh yeah, you always know. You always know where junkies are hanging out, okay? I mean, you can always tell. There's always cigarette butts everywhere, spit and candy wrappers and all kinds of shit like that. That's exactly what you're seeing here. The windows are usually real dirty and, oh yeah, junkies are all the same. Nothing changes. All right, guys, I'm gonna head back. Very successful ride. Yeah, really happy with the speed. They have another version of this bike that I think it only goes 15, but it might be the European model. So just be careful when you're ordering. I'll put the link in there, which one you want to get if you want to get one. Make sure you get that one. The one that goes 20 miles an hour. I don't think there'll be any unlocks or anything. It's only got a 350 watt motor. So. When they gonna have a car show over here? What's going on over here? Pittsburgh. Okay, so I see, what do I see? I don't know what they're doing. But I guarantee you a lot of cars are going to start pulling up in here. All right, so before I take off, I want to see what these modes are about. Okay, so I mean, I guess I could read the manual, you know, but who wants to do that, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back to mode 1 and see what the pedal assist is like. Okay, so it takes off pretty good to where there's no tension on the pedal. You will have to raise the gear up to get tension on it. Okay, so I'm going to go up to 4th. Okay. All right, let me go back in mode 2 here. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so we're going to go to mode 2 here. See how the pedal assist is with that. Okay. The mode 2, it gave you a little more pedal assist. It gave you a little more speed on the pedal assist. Not much. It's really not that noticeable, but it is a little bit. Okay, let me go down here to mode 3. Now don't forget, I'm pulling out here in 4th gear. I don't know. That feels the same to me. This is the second one. So I don't think there's much of a difference. I'll read it. I'll read what the manual says, but I'm telling you, I don't care what the manual says. Just being out here, you're going to tell that there's really not a whole heck of a lot of difference in it. So, I mean, I'm not feeling it, so. Alright guys, I'm going to go back because my hands are falling asleep because I'm leaning forward so much that my hands are pressing into the handlebars and making them all go numb. Now I am pretty much healed up from the accident. So I'm just going to leave it down in mode 1. Yeah, mode 1 is definitely less pedal assist. Okay, so there you go. Mode 1 is for, you'll get the throttle speed to 20 miles an hour, but the pedal assist doesn't do much. So just so you know that. The other two are hardly any difference whatsoever. Oh yeah, somebody crashed their scooter over here. Cops were telling me about it. It's still sitting here. Looks like a rental scooter to me. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up and stay tuned for the unboxing and all that fun stuff, right? Okay. All right, guys. Have a nice day. All right, everybody. We're going to take a look at this Ancheer 20 today. I'm still recovering, you know, from that bad accident, so it's actually hard for me to be down on my knees like this right now. My leg is pretty jacked up, but you know, I'm getting by. I'm getting through it. But anyway, so I picked up this Ancheer 20 because, you know, I have the Ancheer 14 over there, which is a great bike. It's that one like the Jetson, but just a little bit better spec. But now that I got this one here, if this turns out to be a decent bike, I might be getting rid of the 14 and the Jetson. You know, they're great bikes and all that, but, you know, that 15 miles an hour just don't cut it for me anymore with that Jetson. I love the Jetson, but it's too slow, you know. And actually, I like this little Ancheer one a little bit better. If I was to keep any of them, it would probably be that one there and just get rid of the Jetson. So, whatever. Anyway, so this bike here, this Ancheer 14, it's a little bit short on the specs, even on the website. So here's the little bit of specs I can give you. It's 48 volt, 350 watt brushless motor, removable battery, 7-speed Shimano drivetrain, and it's got an aluminum fork. Other than that, I don't even know how big the battery is in here. It said on there on the write-up that it had a range of 30 miles, which, you know, we all know that's hogwash, right? Okay, so we all know that's a bunch of baloney. So, oh, sorry about that, Miss Turk. Anyway, so, so we got that open there and there. And I am going to bring the camera down here and let you see what it looks like inside the box here. So let's do that. Oh God, I am hobbling around. We got the box open right here. Here we got the manual here. Let's see what we got there. We got the manual, battery charger. That's good. Got the folding pedals, which is always nice. I don't have to buy some. The toolkit and the rod for the front tire install. And then a little cap for a nut. Okay, so that's all that's in there. So you're seeing how it's packed. Yeah, it looks good in here. Wow. We got that there. There. Say hi to Miss Turk. There she is, ready for her Thanksgiving. Yeah, I like the rack on there, right? If I get a spare battery, we can we can use that. Here's a fender. That looks pretty nice. Looks pretty cheesy as well. It's a cheesy looking fender. Okay. Now this is a 20-inch bike, so this is going to be about the same size as the XP Lite. So it's going to be in that range right there. So I'm just going to stop the video here for a second and pull this thing out of here. Alright guys, I got it out of the box, and I will say that I'm kind of impressed with the build on this thing. Wow. I'm a little bit surprised. Okay, it says Power Sport there, Ancheer. Here's where you plug the battery in right here. Here's the headlight. The headlight looks very powerful actually, compared to like the electric or any of them. Look at that. It's got 4 big beams in there, so yeah, that thing might be pretty decent. Then if you come up here on the stem and everything, it actually has this pretty dang cool phone holder right here built onto it. Wow, I was kind of impressed with that. I didn't even know that was in there. And you got this brake here, this brake here, and you got your keys here. There's your shifter. Yeah, wow. Looks nice. There's the tire. So now I'm going to flip it upside down and attach the tire. Alright guys, so I'm almost done with the install. But I will tell you, there was quite a few challenges here. There was multiple stripped bolts. What they did was they put the bolts in, like say this one here for the headlight and the fender. They put the bolt in cockeyed. Okay, so this thing, it was completely stripped out. Okay, so what I did was I used one of these bolts because these were the same, and I used one good one down into here, and then I just tapped that hole and just used a standard thread. Or I forced the stripped one into the standard thread size. Okay, so it's nice and tight now. But I mean, this will throw you a real curveball when they put these bolts on, and they torque them down to like way past unnecessary levels. I mean, just undoing those bolts was strenuous. Okay, plus they got blobs of Loctite on there. They should have just put the bolts in a bag and then told you, okay, to put it here. Like, they have a very good video on Amazon how to assemble this. They could have just told you, hey, put one of these bolts through here with the fender and the light, without putting the bolt in the hole in advance and torquing the hell out of it to make it very difficult to remove. And they did the same thing in the back for the back fender. So there was bolts that were stripped back here as well. No, that's on oh yeah, right here. This bolt right here. One of them was stripped. And I had to use one from somewhere on the other side, actually. So, yeah, wow. Didn't really think that was necessary to do that, but, you know, it's almost done. There's 40 pounds in the air in the tires. I put that in already. I'm getting ready to flip it back over. All right, guys, so the build is done. And now I'll have to look in the manual to see what the heck. Oh, I see what that is right there. Okay, so here's your cool phone holder, and I was wondering, why is there a wire running to the phone holder? Well, because you can plug your phone in. There's a USB port right there. Wow, I thought that was pretty cool. Wasn't expecting that. Okay, we'll get that cover on in a minute. Now there's the dashboard, and it looks very similar to the Voyager Radius Pro. Yeah, it looks pretty dang similar on that. And then you just hit this M button to change the speeds. That's all. It'll say mode 3, mode 1, mode 2, mode 3. The battery's actually fully charged, so I'm going to take it out in the morning and ride it. There's your Shimano drivetrain, and I twisted the handlebar, straightened them out a little bit. There's the phone holder. There's the horn. There's the light. Seems pretty bright to me. Yeah, that thing seems pretty bright, actually. This might be a pretty decent bike. And there's where the key goes. It's very reminiscent of the electric XPs. The key goes right up under there, just like them, and it has to stay in there. You can't take it out and ride. 40 pounds of air in the tires. Putting this thing in here, putting the stem in there and all that, it was super easy. The only issue I had was the stripped bolts. That was the only one that was a real pain, was this one. This one was the one that was really gave me the problem. Man, I cannot believe the way they torqued that down. The guy screwing that in on the assembly line, he must have been sleeping and fell asleep with the impact driver going full bore in there. Yeah, wow. It's pretty sharp, man. I think it was $6.99 or something. It was really really seemed like it might be a decent buy. So plus it's a little bit bigger and I can fold it up and maybe dump the other ones over there. But I do love that little Ancheer, the 14. So, well, you know, guys, when I make these videos on these bikes and stuff, I always do the ride first. So whenever you see the video, you'll see the ride first and then you'll see this part at the end, you know. The important stuff is how it rides, right? The unboxing and all that crap is really secondary stuff. This is actually, the ride is actually the most important stuff. So, let's ride it.
That's all, folks.